What happens if you take 3 struggling freelance marketers, lock them in a 17th century cottage and don't let them leave until we fix their businesses? In August, I rented this old cottage in rural Ireland and invited copywriter Rob, e-commerce designer Laura and book coach Vicky. 3 freelancers desperate to stand the fuck out. Over 2 days, we ripped everything apart. Their offers, their messaging, their branding, their lead gen, to find what was really holding them back and nail what could finally set them apart. There were breakthroughs, breakdowns, even some tears, but somewhere between the doubt and the chaos, they stopped hiding. They found what lit them up and finally put themselves out there.
So before we meet our 3 participants, I want to give you a bit more context. I've been running positioning workshops for solopreneurs, freelancers, SaaS brands, direct-to-consumer brands. I've done a lot of different type of workshops with individuals as well as people part of a team. And I don't know how many times I thought to myself, I wish we had a camera crew there to film what just happened. Whether it's like something super interesting that they shared or some sort of a breakthrough about someone's business. Like, how many times have I thought that? I can't even count. So that's how the series was born. Anyway, about our first victim, copywriter Rob. He found me through my book, Stand the Fuck Out, which is a very, very practical, no bullshit guide to help businesses stand the fuck out in crowded markets in particular. And when I told him about this idea of doing this experiment in that cottage, he was a little worried. He was a little worried about putting his business out there and his problems out there, and even he was calling his business a sinking ship when he was talking about it to me. I challenged him a bit on this, and he was happy to come on and actually be challenged because he felt he really needed the help. He asked himself some questions, like big questions, such as, should he go back to teaching? Should he go back to the fitness world? Should he keep calling himself a copywriter or move away from that? A lot of existential questions. I think it's the perfect place to start.
So I know it's weird. It's my first time too. Okay, so we're all virgins here. It's gonna be fun. So why don't we start with you, Rob? Why don't you tell us, again, like as if we don't know you, we don't know your business. Why don't you tell us what you do now, like what's your business, the main stuff you offer, and maybe the biggest challenge, the biggest thing you have right now?
So currently I'm a copywriter. This year has been a struggle because I think with the introduction of AI, clients have stopped turning to copywriters for work, for done for you work, and kind of saying, I'm just going to use AI instead, right?
Did that actually happen to you, like specifically?
No.
Okay.
But the demand, I feel, referrals are less as a result. So I'm just making that claim actually, which is a good point.
What are we talking about here? Like, is that a feeling, or do you have a number for me?
No, that's more of a feeling.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm not getting as many referrals, so I'm just linking that to AI.
Again, not getting as many referrals. Like last 3 months, what's roughly the number?
I've probably got more referrals in the last 3 months than the last year. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay, so that's the kind of the story I'm telling myself now. I'm thinking about it. I need to challenge that.
It's okay. Don't try to like analyze yourself. Just
okay.
say your strength. Okay.
So the way I'm thinking about it is that I need to change something because things are looking bleak in terms of like projects on the table, retainers were down, stuff like that. Yeah.
Again, so you're saying retainers are down, and yet in the last 3 months you got quite a good number of referrals.
Yes, which we'll probably move on to in what that was for. The referrals weren't, I know a good copywriter, you need to go work with him. It was more like, Rob helps me with my marketing and my business problems, you need to go speak to him. So in the last a few conversations I've had with clients, the word copywriter has not come up, which I love.
Okay, and how many, when you say conversation with prospects, how many are we talking about roughly in the last 3 months?
Oh, I mean, not many, but 3, 4, 5, maybe 5 in the last 3 months, yeah.
And none of them had copywriter as a. And so when surely the question came about like what do you do, what do you offer or whatever.
Yes.
Or mostly about them.
Yeah, so we would first talk about them on the call, what they were experiencing, and then the call would round out about how I can help you, offer 2 services. Now I do. A more of a done with you service, which is more strategy, and more done for you service, which is if they need deliverables done, they can hire me to do that. And I'll take that off their plate in a sense. So copywriting does become one of those deliverables.
But do you say the words explicitly? Did you say?
No. They come to me with a sales problem or a sales problem. It's usually just directly related to sales.
What they think is a sales problem.
What they think is a sales problem.
Yeah.
And then it always comes back to, and then we get into conversations around, I don't like hard selling.
But I don't like hard selling.
I've tried that, or it didn't feel right.
So, what's your diagnosis? Can you give me an example of a past conversation you had, like recently, like someone we can just picture in our head?
Yes, so they were struggling to sell to their list.
Okay.
When we dug a little bit deeper, they realized that how they were getting people onto the list was a freebie it was just attracting a lot of people with just who wanted the freebie, and then they either weren't reading the emails or they were sticking around and not buying.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't working because the sales were actually down, or they believed it wasn't working?
Sales were down. Yeah. It wasn't as high as they wanted to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then, what was your diagnosis of that situation?
The quality of leads on their list.
Okay.
Was because over the years they've built up this list of thousands and thousands of people.
Okay.
Nearer 20,000. And what they found was that the way in which they're bringing them in, they wanted to build this big list and this big asset, but actually, because it was compiled over the last 5 or 6 years and come up from various sources, and now they have new offers, didn't quite match.
Okay.
So.
And how did you figure that out?
Just by. I've worked with them before, so I kind of knew, but we also prodded it and just kind of really fleshed it out in our call and kind of really came back, and Kiki kept saying, oh, well, I've got this big list, because in the past people would say, well, I've got this big list, I just need to get better copy. But I always didn't really believe in that, because I've always kind of like, the last year or two, I've really started coming back to the phrase, well, copy isn't enough. Because if your offer is poor, if your service isn't great, then even if we do sell, these people will refund. They won't stick around if it's a membership, etc., etc. So.
But how did you? I'm coming back to this. But how did you figure out that the list wasn't good quality?
Okay. He was running this free group, not off. So similar to like a free Facebook group someone would run, but not on Facebook, right? So thousands of people would sign up to this through a Facebook ad, but the conversion rate on that was like virtually nothing in terms of upselling to high ticket. So he was going, here's the free thing. We do, and which it wasn't just like,
hold on one second.
It was like, here's the free thing. Do you want to hop on a call to discuss how I can help you for high ticket? And it was like, do you see the disconnect there? They're going to get this thing, and what's the engagement like in the group? And he was saying it was low, etc., etc. Okay. So there was a disconnect there. So we kind of figured, well, are these people that are coming in at the top of funnel really who you want to try convert or hop on the phone?
Maybe can you just wrap it up in terms of talking about where do you want to be? So I think we've talked about the situation, what you think is happening, and all of that. But like, what's your goal in the next, let's say, 6 months, 12 months?
Wake up in the morning and actually feel passionate about what I'm doing again. Again. Because there was a time where I was like, oh my God, I'm a copywriter. This is super exciting.
Tell me more.
Okay, so yeah, I've lost the. Because I've come to the conclusion of copy isn't enough, because I've worked in enough businesses to know, even when I do my best work and get that copy critiqued and then sent over and everything else, and you still lose the gig. I've come to the conclusion is that for most businesses, copy isn't enough. You need hands on the offer. You need to be working on, like, copy is a level 2 or 3 service.
Yeah.
It comes after you've spent time working on the offer, making sure that's delivered at a high level, and then the copy comes. The copy is literally just a vehicle that takes them there. And anytime I've gone inside a business and we've started with the offer and we've worked on copy, is literally just the thing that's sent out. then results are way higher. In my experience.
So you had that realization, and was it when you start to feel unhappy? Because you say you want to wake up again, be energized about it, whatever. So you started copywriting. That was new to you, like freedom, working from wherever, working with whoever.
Yeah.
Okay. And then after a couple of years, I don't know, I don't want to put words in your mouth. Just tell me if it's wrong. But after a couple of years, you realize copy is not enough. It's like
After about 3 years, because I was doing it for about a year and a half before I went full time.
Okay.
So yeah, when I start really going in, being a team member, you realize that the offer isn't strong, but you're still expected to sell it through email or landing pages or whatever.
Okay.
And you do your best work, but you can poke. But if I can poke holes in the offer, or I can see issues with it, then I just know it won't land as much and they won't get the result, and that has a knock-on effect about what happens to you as a team member, etc.
Okay.
Et cetera,
yeah. And how long ago has it been you feel like you've been unhappy or not as energized as before?
A year and a half.
A year and a half.
Possibly longer, yeah.
Okay. So you want to go back to that like feeling of actually being helpful, right? Like actually making an impact.
Yes.
Why did I go through the trouble of inviting 3 people to go to Ireland in a cottage? Why didn't I just set up a Zoom call, record it? And it's because I think I've seen that time and time again over my 10 plus year doing this, is that nothing beats real life interaction for this type of stuff. It's much more impactful than a Zoom call. Now, about Laura, we've been in touch for years, but we've never worked directly together. So what she's struggling with is her mind playing tricks on her. And as a solopreneur, their mindset or what is going through their mind is the single biggest point of failure, right? Because if the mind doesn't follow, if you don't feel energized by what you do, if you feel anxious, if you feel nervous, in the long run, things are gonna collapse, right? And that's what I suffer from a few times in my career in terms of burnout and stuff. So I know to recognize that. And so Laura, I would say the biggest issue is this. So you'll see how we unearth it, and you'll see how we try to solve it.
Okay. Laura.
Hello.
You've been sitting very quietly here.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do the same as Rob. I'm just going to... Why don't you tell us what you do?
Sure.
Briefly, or not so briefly, and then I'll probe you with questions.
Sure. So I design Shopify stores for tasteful, considered ecom brands. I've been doing that for, how long now? Probably like a year and a half. I would say doing this type of project work. Before that, I would describe myself more as like freelancing.
Okay.
On more retainers, helping clients optimize their sites.
Okay.
Next.
And what do you like about it? Like, what brought you to this? Because beforehand, what was your experience?
I worked in a classic big agency doing conversion rate optimization for household brands.
And how long were you working with them?
3 years almost.
Okay. And what was the trigger that made you say, fuck it, I'm going to leave?
Honestly, I realised how much revenue I was pulling in for them and then doing all the work, and I wanted to hire people and they said no. So I was like, well, fuck this, I can make even a 10th of this for myself, then I will. I was the one pitching the work and winning the client, and then I realised, I was like, oh, I think, I'd be the kind of person that say, I'm not salesy, I can't sell, and then I'm like, well,
yeah, sure, I
think that's, it worked. So I think it was more the story you tell yourself of what sales is. But it was that when I realised that they wouldn't get anyone to help me. But I'd done all of that cycle, like the full cycle of what it probably took to run a business. So. Okay,
and so you realised maybe I could do that.
Yeah, I'd never considered it. It just wasn't. I wasn't ever the kind of person that's like, I want to, do my own thing.
Bonjour. So something for you. You know the way I've been quizzing my participants in that workshop and asking very probing questions and to get to the truth, to get to where they're struggling and to be able to give them good advice. So if you want to live the same experience without me going to your house, that'll be weird. We can do that online. So you can take the quiz, an online quiz that asks probing questions, asking like specifics. And as soon as you do that, as soon as you answer all of those quick questions, you'll receive an email with my personalized assessment audit of what's going on and with my recommendations. You just add your detail, bim bam boom, let's do it. And there we go. First question, you see, it's just, you don't have to answer anything. You just click, right? Very quick. Do clients have a clear, compelling reason to choose you over their competitor? Let's suggest yes. Do your message resonate well, etc., etc. And at the end, once you're done with this, you'll get an email, personalized email. So it looks like that. I took a quick screenshot of this one. And so it gives you the quick summary of where I think your main opportunity is. A little story followed by my recommendation, top 3 moves, specific things that you could be doing. So again, pop your email in, send you the stuff. You can reply to me straight away too. I read all my emails. See you there. Bye.
So you started doing landing page work, like design, copy.
Yeah.
Okay. For campaigns, for paid ads.
And websites as well. Paid ads.
So basically the top of funnel type thing. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, a bit of a mix. Some just like, there's sales pages that they were using Instagram to drive to, some more like organic traffic, but.
And you also, so then you got a referral for a 6-month project, which was probably the most money you would ever make doing your own thing.
Yeah. So I'd got this retainer client, and then on top of that, I was slotting in like projects as well, which was not ideal because like the switching between like being in project mode and then trying to do client retainer, I felt like I was in so many different businesses, like headspace-wise. It was really tough. And then I think I had a like massive burnout again. Like probably just beginning of this year.
Tell me more.
So then again, I'm like, oh right, so I'm still not.
What do you mean?
Not found the solution.
What do you mean?
Like I actually gave myself a full like eczema for the first time in my whole life.
Okay.
Like physically
okay.
tired, like constantly on, constantly. And just my like being able to actually show up for clients was just awful. Like small tasks were taking ages because I was just like. Cannot get this done, like.
Okay. So that was start of the year?
Yeah.
Okay. And you took a month off, right? After. So it was just to fucking.
Yeah, breathe and.
Okay.
Live.
And was that obviously a family decision in terms of talking to your partner and say, look, like things are not right, like I need to take a break?
Yeah, a bit of that, and also my daughter's getting older now, and I was like, I just want to spend some like real time with her as well.
Quality time, right? You don't want to be in the fucking state psychologically.
Basically,
to be
like
with
distracted,
your daughter, right?
yeah.
So, what do you want out of this today? What's your goal?
I guess probably that I've been relying on a lot of, like as I'm starting to put myself out there and offers and things, I feel like I'm overcomplicating like even that part of just that look.
What part?
Like, I think I am maybe like completely over servicing, and therefore my offers then don't become as like profitable, and so there's like probably 2 parts of that. There's like what the offer is, and then who I'm actually putting that offer towards, and my messaging, like some clarity on just who this will be helpful for.
Okay.
Because I have this tension between the knowledge I have of optimizing for revenue and what people want, and like people don't know what CRO is. A lot of people, and I can't be asked to like go down that route of being like, you should be doing CRO, because it's like I just don't want to do that.
So,
but people want like aesthetic make websites, not understanding that they're like sacrificing on sales for some of that, but the people that do really well make it all like shiny and like glossy websites.
So it's a very, I think it's an important thing we need to work out. It's like in the book I call it like the Trojan horse type of way of going about, like first giving people what they think they need and then giving them what they actually need.
Yeah.
And you do need to give something. You do need to think where the demand is and where the demand flows, capture some of it, and then being able to drive them where you want. Like it's like a fucking flowing river, right? It's like you just capture a tiny bit of it and then you bring them to where you are. And if you start with the CRO straight away, like that's textbook the mistake I've made in my CRO agency. I was desperate trying to sell the CRO to business owners in Ireland who had no fucking idea what it was, and all they wanted was more traffic.
Yeah, almost.
What I should have done is say, yes, I'll bring you more traffic, and then one of the stuff I would do is optimize the traffic.
Yeah.
So it's a tough thing to do because it's almost linked to your identity as a person, right? Like that's what you do, that's what you like or whatever, and it feels like you compromise that. But your product, your services, your position, your business position is not you. Do you know?
That's work in progress.
Well, we're all work in progress.
Yeah.
How do you feel right now?
Like really excited. Like I'm kind of energized for this. Like,
show me the energy a bit. You're way too still for someone who's fucking energetic.
I'm British after all.
Yeah, you're also well behaved. It's unreal. Like, I'm the one fidgeting here, and you're like, how do you stay still like this? It's unreal. Like Rob has his back straight for the last 45 minutes, and I'm like, how the fuck?
Wait till the afternoon. We'll be feet up on the couch.
Yeah.
No, but like it's. But I'm asking you, how do you feel right now? Because I was half joking about it earlier before we started recording and whatever, that it was for you, it felt like you were the most nervous.
Yeah, I probably was. Do I feel nervous now? No.
You feel okay?
Yeah, I feel good. Yeah.
Why do you feel better now?
Because it wasn't as it was more cathartic than being told off.
Yeah, I'm not a fucking asshole. You know? I mean, I am, but I'm not. Like, meaning I care. Like, I genuinely care about all of you. I invited you here for a reason. I like you personally, like as people, and I'm genuinely trying to help. And I think one part of my obsessive personality is that I'm good at digging things up and asking questions until I get to something. So that usually is helpful for people.
Yeah,
and we haven't even started. It's just the intro, lads.
Jesus.
Yeah. So your goal is to like figure out a positioning that is more like in demand, where it's not that hard to get clients, but that still brings them to your core skill set.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm live from my kitchen and I want to introduce Vicky to you. But before I do that, I want to talk about something. And you might be wondering why Ireland, right? Especially since you've also probably noticed my very French accent. So what gives? I came here as a student for my very first internship after college. And I was supposed to stay for 3 months. And here I am, 15 years later, with a great house in Dublin, great wife, amazing daughter. I fell in love with the country, I have to say. I love the people. I love the culture. I'm not a big fan of the weather, but actually it's not that bad. So anyway, to wrap it up, yes, that's why we are doing this experiment in 30 minutes from Dublin Airport, because it's not too far from my house, and I thought it was much easier to do. So if we go back to Vicky, same as Laura, we've been in touch for years, and same as Laura, she's a kind soul who really, really cares about her business. You'll see. Vicky is a published author with a roster of clients. And on paper, she's doing very well. But she feels she's working way too hard for the result that she gets. And so this is what she wants to tackle today. Let's see where this goes.
Okay, Vicky, your turn. You've been patiently waiting. So, Vicky, what do you do again?
I'm a non-fiction book coach.
Okay, so what does that mean, non-fiction?
I help people to write. I help people to write books that are non-fiction. So I don't get involved in novels. I don't really get involved in poetry beyond a little bit of technique. But I help people to tell the stories that they want to tell.
Okay.
In book form.
When you say people, like
mostly business owners, entrepreneurs, tends to be coaches and creatives, but I've also worked with, like, for example, one of my clients wrote an entire book about fake grass, and he's based in Ireland actually, and that surprised me because I was like, how can you write a whole book about fake grass? But he did, and it was interesting.
wow. Okay.
So yeah.
What's your best type of client? How would you describe them? If you think about the last few clients you've got.
My best types of clients are people with something to say that really matters to them. So I've actually heard people say before, and one of my past mentors has said, you know, you should write a book because it's a great business card and it doesn't matter if anyone reads it. And that just made me want to break things because A, waste of trees, but B, books are fucking magical, right? They're magical. They are a way of time traveling, and they are a way of seeing, you know, a snapshot of what somebody really believes. And so I really want to work with people who have something to say that's really, really important to them.
So what brings you here today then? Because that sounds pretty, sorry to cut you, that sounds pretty clear, right? In terms of positioning at least. And
I'm actually doing really well with referrals and private clients, and I can't really take on any more private clients, certainly not really until the end of the year, which is fab.
wow.
But it's not scalable, and I don't want to build like a massive scalable business. I'm not interested in that, but I do need something that is going to give me like a baseline of stuff like the workshops that I do, like my membership, and like, I don't know, something that I can bring me money without me having to put all of the time into it that I want to put into my private clients.
So you want a baseline of revenue where you feel like this is coming in every month with less work, or at least it's...
Less, yeah, I don't mind putting the work in, certainly not to build it up, because I've always been a hard worker, but it's that like, I can't be everywhere at once. Because I know the kind of clients that I work with one-on-one who are going to pay me the big bucks for private coaching, they have either been on my email list for a very long time, or mostly they come from referrals. Like I'm probably not going to get those people from LinkedIn, certainly not from like a sales email or a sales page, and that's fine. But like what I want is the people who are going to come in and need the lower level stuff from me. Like maybe the creativity stuff, maybe the building a writing practice stuff, maybe like the early steps towards wanting to write your own book, instead of being like, right, I'm ready and I've got the money and the will to do it. It's like, and I don't really know what those people want or need.
Interesting.
And that's what I think is stopping me from creating something new.
So you don't think you know what those people, meaning those people who are not usually yet ready to write a book, want or need? That's an important statement, isn't it? I think we need to figure that out. Okay. So we'll dig into that in the next few hours. I think I have a good way to think through this. But like when we were talking in the group call, you were saying that like they question themselves. There's this imposter syndrome about they know they have something to say, but they don't think it could be a book. Like everything has been written before.
They don't think that they're interesting enough.
Right.
They don't think that they have time, and it's never time. Almost never. Sometimes it's time, but they don't think they have time. But it's almost never time. It's that nobody has time to do something that they don't know where to start with, right? I think one of the other problems is that they will see people, and I don't want to like shit on any individuals, but because once you've written a book, it's like an amazing thing to do, and then people get really excited about it, and they're like, I'm going to show everyone how to write a book, and it's like, no, you're going to show people how you wrote a book, and that is the difference, because then people will look at that and it's like, well, I can't, and I'll try it, and it's like, well, I can't do it like that, because the person who's written the book has only ever done it that one way. And what I bring to it is having worked with like shitloads of different people who've done it in many different ways, and actually there's not only one way to do anything.
Okay.
And so there's kind of, and there's this idea of like, what's a writer? And, you know, it's like, oh, you have to be like a certain way, and oh, you got to go to a cabin in the woods, like a cottage in Ireland. Do
you have archetypes, like roughly 6, 7, 8 ways that you've seen over and over again, like that typically tends to be like you fall into one of those buckets?
I probably have, yeah. I have never formalized it, but maybe I should do that.
Yes. But like, you see how the statement earlier, a few minutes ago, where you said, I don't know what those people want or need, is not true, because you literally just said exactly what they want or need, what they struggle with and stuff, right?
Yes.
So it's interesting why that would come across like you're not confident enough, like you don't know them or whatever. What do you want to get out of this? So you said, simplifying things, you said essentially reaching out, how to find more of those people who can then join your email list and get to a point where they're ready.
Yeah. I also want to bring in a little bit, because I got my autism diagnosis, and I don't want to like bang on about that. Woo! Yeah, yay. But I do think it's important because people think in different ways, and that's what I can bring.
Okay. Anything else?
I'd like to bring back some of the joy again, because I really do love what I do. Like, I love what I do. I love the people that I work with. I really think it's important as well, not in like a wanky way, but you know. And I think I've got sucked into the online world, and it's like everyone takes themselves so fucking seriously.
Yeah.
And no, thank you anymore. Like, I just, you know, it is serious, but we don't have to be serious about it.
Like, one thing I've noticed for the three of you, and like I'm guilty of that too, but I think we need to be very mindful of, is how much the shit you're being exposed to is hurting and influencing your thoughts and therefore your actions or lack thereof. Yeah. It's crazy. Like, the three of you mentioned the exact same thing, right? Slightly different ways, but like, it's clear that the way what you see coming in front of your eyes every day is shaping what you think the problems are and shaping the way you behave. And it'd be lovely if you had none of that input and you could just post or do what you feel at the time you feel it, right?
Yeah.
Well, if you thought this was intense, get ready for episode 2, because after understanding where our trio is at and where they want to be, my goal is to understand what's stopping them from getting there. In other words, episode 1 was an amuse-bouche, a starter. Episode 2 is where we get super practical. I hope you'll watch it.